Tainan city volunteers provide face shields and gloves to police officers and firefighters. Dharma Master De Ci reaffirmed her vow to follow the master before she passed away. Welcome to Dai Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In order to protect police officers and firefighters, Tainan city volunteers brought in gloves and face shields. They want to bring sincere care and protection to frontline workers. Upon receiving the face shields and gloves from city volunteers, officers immediately wore protective gears and expressed their opinions.
This face shield protects us from all angles. It allows officers on duty to avoid the risk of contracting COVID-19, which will harm their health conditions. It's safer to us police officers. This provides another layer of security while on duty. For the police officers and firefighters, everyone works hard and is exhausted. They are also exposed to high-risk environments. So with these supplies given, we hope to help them in their efforts to battle the pandemic.
1,000 face shields and 15,000 gloves arrive at Tainan City Government Fire Bureau.
I wear glasses, but this doesn't affect my view. It's also good in terms of protection. It's light and I can take it off easily. We hope to provide better support to them while they are on duty. Besides helping others, I hope that they can have another layer of security at work.
The COVID prevention supplies given by city volunteers have not only given better protection to frontline police officers and firefighters, it has also provided a morale boost as it unites everyone in the efforts to battle the pandemic. As the pandemic situation worsened, in order to assist frontline workers, Kaohsiung city volunteers continue to make face shields. Starting last year, almost 100,000 face shields were made. Although the number of workers are limited in an indoor environment, many volunteers also work at home. They hope to support the COVID prevention efforts.
As the pandemic situation elevated, Tzu Chi volunteers never stopped making face shields.
We're working more shifts. Later, we have to carry over 6 boxes of materials, about 30,000 face shields. We added on another 10,000 face shields.
Following COVID prevention SOP, volunteers worked while keeping social distancing in mind. Some even worked in different spaces.
We have social distancing with seats and 1 person per table.
Following the COVID prevention SOP, there can only be 1 person sitting at 2 tables. Repetitive movements looks very tiring, yet volunteers never complain about being exhausted.
Because the pandemic is getting serious, saving lives is more important.
Since the pandemic is getting serious, we have to make face shields for more units in need. The face shield making team formed by Kaohsiung Tzu Chi volunteers never complain about being tired, as they're willing to become the shield for frontline workers.
In Taiwan, a COVID-19 patient's health went downhill quickly. His surrounding family members decided to give up on using ECMO, leaving this precious medical resource to people who need it. This heart of great love made doctors deeply moved.
At 3 in the morning, I woke up, and I was actually thinking about the patient who passed away. I even cried for him.
What made the doctor cry is this COVID-19 patient who was diagnosed with coughing, cold, and breathing problems. Upon contracting COVID-19, he walked alone to the hospital for treatment. After a medical check, he was discovered to have pulmonary infiltration with low oxygen saturation and was also tested positive for COVID-19.
It was very serious. He had developed an acute respiratory distress syndrome. Because under this situation, his heart and lungs started to malfunction. We tried to save him over the course of 30 minutes.
At the time, ECMO was an option for survival, but according to past medical experiences, ECMO installed on this patient will only give out a 10% survival rate. After the medical team discusses with the patient's family members, they are the ones to make the final call.
Because we're using medical resources, we must make keen decisions. Due to the kind nature of his family members, they wanted to save resources for more people in need. At that time, I cried a lot and couldn't control my own emotions.
After the patient passed away, Dr. Su Wenling continued to join COVID prevention meetings as he's fully equipped every time he enters an ICU. Though this time he couldn't save a patient, he's deeply thankful to him and his family members.
Facing COVID-19, many patients and family members have displayed the spirit of great love. Actually, I think that they're far more greater than me.
Against the relentless virus, medical staff, patients, and respective family members display great love in order to make it through the pandemic together. Though some lives are lost, experience gained will for sure nurture the medical team for more challenging tasks. Dharma Master De Ci has passed away on May 26. Being the first disciple of Dharma Master Cheng Yen, even when she was fighting her illnesses, she still found her initial inspiration to follow Dharma Master Cheng Yen life after life. Here's our report.
We will be waiting here for Dharma Master De Ci to return.
Dharma Masters at Jing's abode expressed her thoughts for Dharma Master De Ci. She's always caring for everyone like a compassionate mother. However, she's also strict when it comes to abiding by principles.
While she is very compassionate, she is also very strict. After Dharma Master Cheng Yen gave guidance, Master De Ci said that we must carry out the orders, then we quickly accomplish the work.
The elderly Dharma Master De Ci has suffered from illnesses, but she did not seem to mind. She still cares for medical professionals who are treating her.
When I went to take a look at Master De Ci in the ward, her first words to me was, "Have you eaten yet? You have not returned home." I said that I'll take a look at you first, and later I'll take a look at other patients. She then kindly told me to go home early. I think Master De Ci is such a compassionate person.
Although Dharma Master De Ci has left us, her virtues and conducts will be remembered by all Jing's disciples. As we mentioned, Dharma Master Cheng Yen's first disciple, Dharma Master De Ci, has passed away at the age of 87. She has followed Dharma Master Cheng Yen since she established Tzu Chi Foundation. In the early days, they had scarce resources. They overcame all the difficulties and worked to support themselves besides carrying out charity work. Dharma Master De Ci said that it is her blessing being able to become a monastic and follow Dharma Master Cheng Yen. It is affinities. When there are affinities, things can be achieved. It is our affinities. We have affinities with the Master. It is like the wavelength of a radio. When it is connected, we come into contact with the Master. We have deep affinities. I was born in Xinchen. I grew up in Hualien. It was very backward and the transportation is inconvenient. The population is also small. After the Master came here, we established Tzu Chi Foundation to carry out charity work. We monastics must rely on our labor to sustain our living. We follow the Master. I started to follow the Master since 1964. We started to support ourselves. This is the Master's principle. When we first came here, there was nothing. There was nothing. We must support ourselves. We started from scratch. Later, we established the Tzu Chi Foundation, also from scratch. The first generation must sacrifice ourselves. It means that you can endure the hardship that other people cannot endure. We must endure hardship and train ourselves. This way, when you encounter difficulties in the future, you can overcome them. In the early days, we did not have money. We lacked food. It was all right. We would stir-fry salt with oil and mix it with porridge. We thought it was fine. We also made salted tofu and fried them. Then we ate it with rice. We also thought it was tasty. After Dharma Master Cheng Yen saw that I often borrow oil and rice from other people, she thought we should work. There was a piece of land about 5,000 square meters large behind Puming Temple. If we grew sweet potatoes there, we could eat them. We can also grow peanuts and exchange peanut oil for other goods. We did not have money to hire people, so we borrowed plow and cows from the village chief. Then we sustained our living with the income. In addition, we had to carry out charity work. From 1964 to 1991, we have done 21 kinds of work. Sometimes when we touch this, our soft skin will be sliced. Whoa, it was so painful that we shivered. We kept crying. However, we still had to continue to work. There's no other way. We apply ointment and continue to work. Making ceramic potteries is one of the 21 jobs. We do it slowly and mindfully. We take our time to do it well. We want the work to be perfect. I'm not very intelligent. I just do it. I fulfill the work that needs me. The Master has taught us to have a simple mind. As we deal with other people, we must be honest and upright, honest and sincere. This way, when we do things, we're always sincere to other people. I often said that I'm not very good with words. I do not talk very well. The Master said that I should just be sincere, speak with sincerity. I do just that. When I do things, I work diligently. I simply do things sincerely. That is the way to do it. Many people ask me, in the early days, life was very difficult. You could not eat well and you could only wear old clothes. In addition, you had to do labor work cultivating the field. You were also in debt. Have you thought about going back home? I said no. Back then, I thought it was a blessing to be able to renounce my lay life. It was also good affinities and blessing to be able to know Dharma Master Cheng Yen. While I work hard physically, that is all right. However, I felt very happy spiritually. Domestic garbage disposal has always been a difficult issue for governments. Some people believe that garbage is just a misplaced resource. Dye technology has made clothing and blankets from PET bottles collected by Tzu Chi volunteers. In recent years, discarded plastic bags and paper lunchboxes have been turned into items like pressure clothing, plastic wood, and even pandemic prevention materials.
The disaster area in Nepal is dark, but Tzu Chi volunteers are wearing hats with solar panels as they investigate the disaster area. This light in the darkness helps save many people.
His mother died. His mother. When village.
This light is also due to the ingenuity of the Master. There are many great doctors that use these hats to help patients check their teeth and tend to their wounds. In fact, it has a USB connection that can charge a phone for about an hour of use.
A lot of times, some seniors were stabbed with nails when they went to clean the disaster area. So a lot of time, the Master asked if we could develop an insole to protect their feet from this.
心里很不忍心。穿到遐，伊还佫穿足够的，大家人啊坐咧吼，坐立不安。可以的话，可以让安尼环境改善。
While the pressure garments were uncomfortable in the past, the first factor is that they were not breathable. The second is that it can easily cause itching. At that time, we continued to do research and development about how to make pressure garments from recycled PET bottles.
Chen Chu wears a pressure garment made by dye technology as 50% of his body was burned in a gas explosion. He was moved by the support.
The pull on the joints is better and extension is also better than other pressure garments.
With compassion technology, Chen Chu was able to escape his life of sadness and experience the joy in life once again.
I choose to do photography as a documenting volunteer, which is a tool to let everyone see the world through my eyes.
On the second anniversary of the Formosa Fun Coast Water Park explosion, Dye Technology donated 2,000 yards of pressure garment material to the wounded individuals through the Sunshine Social Welfare Foundation.
In fact, behind the product is a story of love. We are not inspired by profit. We are helping others and assisting people who are suffering.
The seeds of love are passed on to the youth. A group of young people under the age of 30 take on the task of promoting environmentalism and humanistic values.
Through the process of sharing information with others, we let more people know the story behind this environmentally friendly product.
This flooring panel is made from scrap fabric from our Tzu Chi disaster relief blankets. And this is from our PET bottles, with the bottom part made from plastic bags.
Originally the manager of a plastic factory, Jeongyeon at the time had a monthly income over $30,000. Unexpectedly, he encountered the recycling and reuse of dye technology, and his life took a dramatic turn.
I dedicate my own factory for eco-friendly research and development. I am devoted to dye technologies research. I don't really want to just work for myself, as I want to pursue sustainability to save the earth.
After finding his direction in life, Jeongyeon became a Tzu Chi person who unified his career and aspirations. His change has become a positive force for other participating companies.
It is good to make environmentally friendly products and also be socially responsible.
Corporate social responsibility has heightened during the COVID-19 pandemic.
The material of our protective clothing is from recycled PET bottles. Most protective clothing on the market is disposable, which greatly increases the amount of garbage. Because of this, Dye Technology has developed washable protective clothing, which after high temperature disinfection and washing 30 times, blood and virus still can't penetrate.
Dye Technology's research and development funding exceeds production costs by 1/3. All personnel are invested in research and development as we seek continual improvement.
PET bottles come in different colors like these green beads we see now. This is the original color of the bottles, and these Buddha prayer beads come with a luminous powder inside which can be lit at night.
There was an old bodhisattva who ran out during an earthquake. How was he able to escape? He saw his string of Buddha beads that were fluorescent, so he knew the location of the door in his home. So he was able to run out because he could find the door and saved himself.
The brand spirit is committed to being practical and eco-friendly.
Well-known designer Lin Chenying owns 13 boutique clothing stores. She has an excellent fashion sense and is a loyal customer of Dye Technology.
A recycled PET bottle can be used to make a pen, and then you can change the refill. This is a very environmentally friendly bond you can make.
Sister Lin will give this eco-friendly bag to our employees and our main customers.
Everyone can use love to support the earth by utilizing environmentally friendly recycled products, many of which have a moving story behind their creation, as technology based on human nature can be one of the most valuable things in life.
In Hsinchu, this family of 3 had lived without water for 6 years. Ms. Chen has to take care of her paralyzed mother and younger brother who suffered a stroke. Living in an old apartment for more than 30 years, there's no running water available. Although the house has electricity, there's no light. Tzu Chi has been caring for this family since 2019 and has gradually helped them solve various problems.
你若看到伊的这无水吼，实在有影足艰苦的。伊有改善吼，就较方便；无伊较早无水吼，影足无方便。
The sick mother was paralyzed in bed. The young brother, who had suffered a stroke, could only be confined in a wheelchair. They are 57-year-old Mrs. Chen's sweet and heavy burden. However, this home was without water to use for a long time.
我们刚关怀的时候是没水，师兄就请。
When we first came, they had no water to use, so the brother asked the hydropower master to help them reapply for the water meter so as to restore the water supply and repair the restrooms.
帮他里面的洗手间都帮他整理过。
With tap water available, it is much easier for this family. However, the condition of the 30-year-old apartment's poor, Tzu Chi volunteers have gradually helped them solve it since November 2019.
The volunteers often come here. They try to find a water pipe, sanitary equipment, water heater, washing machine, and refrigerator for us. I really appreciate it.
With complete living functions, Tzu Chi volunteers discover the placement problems of the 2 patients, so they find ways to improve them.
Because the younger brother has been sleeping on the table for a long time, Tzu Chi gave him a hospital bed. Later, because he felt that his mother needed a bed even more, so he let the bed to his mother to sleep. Our Tzu Chi brother also felt that we should provide them with another bed, so that the younger brother can have a comfortable place to sleep.
Thanks to assistance of Tzu Chi volunteers, the burden on Mrs. Chen's shoulder has been gradually reduced, facilitating her care work in the future.
To prevent spread of the pandemic, Taichung City government has placed disinfecting carpets at the train station. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.